Good morning, Lusaka. This is Live in the Morning. Welcome and thank you for joining us. You are watching live TV on channel 112 on your Topster decoder, and you are also live streaming on Facebook
Yeah. and YouTube
Yes.
and Twitter and yeah, basically everything on social media.
So I'm Choolwe and this is Elvis, and we'll be with you for the next 2-3 hours.
Wait. Okay, wait. So Choolwe is putting on specs today. Something totally different. So she's trying to level up. Is that what we're talking about?
I'm not trying to level up. I just have, I need to wear glasses sometimes.
Okay, anyway. So today's topic is leveling up, right?
Yeah.
Just understanding what leveling up is, how people do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, we're looking at your journey in growth in life. It is important to constantly be evolving and developing.
Yeah.
You cannot stay stagnant. You stay stagnant, you slow down, and you crash, basically.
Yeah, so we're basically asking people how to move from one step to another step, what they've done, what they're doing now, how progress has been, the challenges, and so on and so forth. So, like we said, our Facebook platforms are open. Please post, let us know what your journey has been, how it's been, what you're currently working on. Who knows, you might get hooked up and get a job, or maybe get a supplier, get a partner, get a customer, and so on and so forth. So
So
we have an interesting lineup as well, right?
Very interesting lineup. On our lineup is, first we have a life coach, right?
Yeah.
Life coach, life and career coach, Mr.
I know his name.
Mr. Emmanuel Mukula.
I'm bad with names, you know.
We can't all be bad with names.
No,
Mr. Emmanuel
I'm
Mukula.
worse. Trust me, I'm bad.
Yes, and then we also have Novera coming through.
Yeah.
Novera Twin Palm, to be specific. And they're going to be talking about the beach football. We have, who else?
DJ Show still is coming on the show. We have Maroka as well. So we have a jam-packed show, basically explaining to us how they've moved up the ranks and what they're currently doing, how you can fit in as well, and how you've contributed as well. Yeah.
So Elvis, looking at the topic, don't say no. You brought it up. We need to talk about it.
Okay. So this is you shooting me this week?
No, I'm not even shooting you. I'm just like having a conversation.
You know you didn't do my part last week, right?
Yes, I didn't. But let's not digress. Let's stick with what we are talking about today. We're talking about growth. What other things in your life that have propelled you into making sure that you are constantly evolving, constantly growing?
What do you mean, what other things?
I said what other things, not what other things.
Oh, okay, wait.
Yeah.
Wow. First things first, God. Forget God. Every single day is a chance and opportunity to make it happen. Secondly, my family members. Well, family has been a huge part of me. They've helped me move from one point to another point, either through advice or they've giving me a pat on the back, or just shutting me down sometimes and telling me, guy, this won't work. It basically won't work. So pretty much that, and then also I've with my friends, with past experiences, and then through the whole journey, I'm able to understand myself and know what I want. Because then I get information from different people, my experiences and so on, put them together, and I know what my goal is. I know where I'm going. So
Okay.
What's your take?
Well, basically, we always have set goals in life, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
We assume that by such and such an age, I should do this, I should do that, I should... you constantly want to see yourself growing. In as much as we say should is sometimes detrimental to us, because what we think should happen doesn't necessarily always happen.
True.
And then we assume that things are going wrong. But who said things should be this way? Anyway, for me, what growing looks like is constantly challenging myself to do better than I did yesterday. Constantly asking myself, how can I be in a better space, in a better frame of mind? It's not just about what I am achieving materially, but also what is happening within me. My mental state of being, my spiritual state of being. You need to achieve balance in all spectrums of life. mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And also, let's not forget financially, because if things are not okay financially, career-wise, those things, they will bring you down. You will not be able to balance any of the other two. So constantly looking to balance those things and grow them is what growth looks like to me.
Okay, so apart from everything you just mentioned, are you able to share with us some of the things that you've done or some of the things that you're currently working on that you see this is what I'm kind of doing, this is where I'm going to be in the next few months, or this is where I'll be in the next couple of years? Now it feels like I'm interviewing you.
I know, right? What I usually do is I set goals. And I know a lot of times...
Break it down for me. Don't say you set goals, just break it down.
Let's start at...
What are you doing then?
Not what are you doing. Let's start with, this is how I look at it. Let's say you've got your phone, right?
Yeah.
Your phone constantly will send you maybe like once every
updates or something like that.
Yeah, it will ask you to update the system.
Yeah.
When you fail to do that, what happens? It starts to lag behind.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And it starts to fail.
Yeah, it starts underperforming also.
The more you do not upgrade, the worse it becomes, and eventually it crashes. Same with the computer. So even in life, the general concept is to continue to upgrade yourself. Something will prompt you. Internally, you will know that, okay, but I have achieved this now. I need to get on to the next level. I've gotten too comfortable in this space. This level of my life, next thing. So you start to think about, how am I going to grow? If it is in terms of your career, you start to look at, how am I going to feed into the growth of my career?
Yeah.
You go and look for a course to do. You go and look for a mentor to guide you into the next phase of your life, and you constantly need to keep on doing that. Sometimes it gets very uncomfortable. Sometimes it gets very painful, depending on what it is that you need to do for growth. And when it gets to that point where you're looking at yourself and thinking, this is crazy, why did I sign up for a master's with everything that's going on in my life? Just know that you are actually growing. Those challenges are what are pushing you into the next level.
Okay, so personally, I'd like to assume and I'd like to think everyone wants to grow at some point, because you don't only grow physically, right? You have to grow mentally as well. You have to grow spiritually, right? But the question I would probably ask you is, what do you think prevents people from moving from one step to another step?
Being comfortable. Being comfortable. When you are in a space that is comfortable, you are earning a certain type of money, you don't necessarily think, okay, this is something that I need to change. You know, growth always shakes things up.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you are in marketing or you're in media or whatever it is you're doing. You get to a certain stage in your life where you feel like, but in as much as this has been me for the last couple of years, I could do more,
something like that.
I could do more. I could do something completely different. You are constantly evolving.
Okay.
You as a person, you're constantly changing. Today you might be in finance. Tomorrow you sit and look and say, but I feel like I need to be in a more creative space. But because you went to school to do finance and you went to school to learn how to be an accountant or maybe a teacher, whatever it is you learned to do. You feel like if you have to move away from that space into the next space, it's going to shake things up so much, you're going to not be able to pivot from that place into the next place. So once you think that way, you sit back and you're like, okay, no, maybe I should just stick to what I know. Yeah, this is fine. I'm earning a salary, I've got a house, I'm paying my rent. This is perfectly fine. That is another way of holding your growth back. I've always thought of it as an experiment. Life should be like an experiment. You should allow yourself to try things, feel different things. Yeah,
challenge yourself also.
Exactly.
I like the fact that this year has allowed people to understand themselves better. It's allowed people to understand that you plan something, but it might not work as you plan it to be.
Exactly.
It's also allowed people to not get comfortable. Because we've seen how, sad to say, but we've seen how people have lost jobs and so on because of the fact that at some point you thought, well, I'm important. I'm the person, I'm the guy. I've gotten comfortable. This is my job. I've been doing this job for the past 10 years or whatever the case. But then COVID hits and then you get retrenched or whatever the case, or the company closes down. Now you start realizing, you know what? I should have leveled up. I should have grown. I should have, tried something different. Like you say, I'm doing something in this field today. It does not mean you could not try something else. I also like the fact that a couple weeks ago we had Tiona that was talking about the book. She talked about how self-realization is important,
exactly.
Understanding yourself, understanding your goals, understanding your purpose also.
Yes.
So you then pick from your family members or whatever the case, understanding what you want to do, then doing it.
Yes.
People should learn to understand that not everyone can be a lawyer. Because I want to be a lawyer, or because I did not manage to be a lawyer, I should not push it on to my son or my daughter and say, you should be a lawyer. Let them grow in their own space, let them level up, let them do what they want to do, and let me support them so they can be greater than we ever thought.
And speaking of leveling up, it was perfectly coined by Ciara.
Yeah.
And Ciara, when you look at her level up, most people refer to her relationship, her
Yes.
moving on from Future to Russell. Yeah.
Oh yes, that's levels up.
Yeah, we can level up in relationships as well, even with our friends. Sometimes you have friends who actually bring you down.
True.
Pick your circle wisely. Pick the people that you surround yourself with wisely. Know that this person feeds into my growth. You know, if you hang out with your friends and all the time you are doing things that are not constructive, you will not grow. Have friends who challenge you. Have friends who, when you look at you, even thinking, this is a lot. You feel intimidated by them. You feel like, okay, I need to get to the level where they're at. I need to be able to look at myself and say, if my friend can do this, I too can do this.
Looking at that, don't look at it in a bad way. Don't look at it in a situation where you backstab the person or start thinking, because Choolwe is doing it at Zion, she will never make it. No.
Not even that you're comparing yourself to
No, it's
them.
not even like that.
You're not comparing yourself to
not.
them.
Yeah.
You're just feeding off of their energy.
Exactly.
Feeding off of each other's energy, growing together. They're supporting what you're doing, your hustle, whatever it is you're doing. You're supporting them.
I like how other races and other religions work together. They have a business. I know my potential. I know I can do better. So I plan on doing better. But then I pick someone else and say, listen, run my business for a couple of weeks, or a couple of months, or a couple of years. This is how much I make on a daily. I want you to make this much. When you manage this, whatever the case, you either pay me royalties or it's a franchise situation type thing. Now I move on, right? I'm doing bigger things. I leave you doing the business. A couple of years down the line, I come back, I say, made your money? Yes, now go start the same business somewhere else. I'll continue my business. That's picking up your friends and leveling up at the same, you're moving at the same pace, which is a good thing. This should work not only in friendship, but it should also work with families. You know what I mean? Let's not be the people that get things on credit or on Congole or whatever the case. Let's have a habit of paying cash. Let's have a habit of supporting each other. Ask each other questions. Like, guy, okay, you're doing business, that's fine. How did you do it? There's nothing wrong with asking your friend how. The best person you can ask is your friend.
They will explain it to you the way you understand.
You could sit in
the same language.
Exactly. You could sit in the same, the way you like playing. Maybe you're having a drink or you're watching soccer or you're just, sunbasking or whatever the case. Sit down and ask him, okay, so how did you do it? What did you do? I want to do something, not in the same line, but something different. How do you think I can work around it? They can basically give you information, but also don't do something because someone else is doing it. That's not leveling up.
Which is the common mistake we like to do.
Exactly. Because Choolwe is selling clothes, I can also sell clothes. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, Choolwe knows how to sell clothes, but she does not know how to sell cupcakes. So you see.
So I could bake and then sell you cupcakes.
Yeah.
We
can even better if we want, right?
No. We don't work like that. Don't work like that. So yeah, we're talking leveling up. We want to understand from your perspective how you're going around it, how it's been, what you're currently working on, what you're currently doing. Apologies, I think I should send out apologies to Banda Gospel. Yes.
Oh yes.
Banda Gospel. So I meant to reach out, but I probably will, don't worry. So you could give us your view on the show and let us know what you think about the topic. I hope you're watching. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll be back with current affairs.
We'll be back with current affairs. And stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in and watching the show today with us. We're hoping to shed a lot of light in terms of growth.
Yeah.
It's not as straightforward as people think it is. It's something that we all need to actually share together, tap into together, and build on together. Yeah. Catch us after the break.
still watching Live in the Morning with us, Elvis and Choolwe. This is Topstar Channel 112, Facebook, that's Facebook Live TV. So we're going to switch it up a bit. We won't go into current affairs just yet. We're going to sit and talk to Mr. Emmanuel Mukula, who's going to share with us personal branding as well as just basically giving us more information about leveling up and, knowing yourself. Mr. Emmanuel, welcome on the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be invited. Thank you.
All right.
You're welcome anytime.
Welcome.
You're welcome anytime.
This is home.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we like to call people and tell them this is home because we want to have as much information, share it to the world, and then just spread it out. So information is good.
Great.
Yeah,
That's very true.
Yeah.
And we are one family at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's true.
So today's topic, we're looking at leveling up. So basically what we're talking about is how people should set goals and then move from one stage to another stage. Because you can't get comfortable on one stage, on one platform.
Okay.
Yeah, so what do you think, first of all, about our topic?
I'll tell you what, I don't know how you actually picked this, but I'll tell you that it is something that I'm pretty passionate about. Okay. You visit my wall on Facebook, LinkedIn, it's something that I love to talk about.
Okay.
Personal branding is something that a lot of people with so much potential have not taken seriously. And if they could take it seriously, I would tell you that there are so many things that one would actually do if they actually decided to do that. Personal branding is something that is very, very important, as it helps one position and package themselves well in such a way that one begins to get noticed. Irrespective of what it is that you actually are doing, you start being noticed and you bring yourself in the right space for recognition. That also, it means a lot. It means a lot. I know we're going to talk about it as we actually go.
Okay, so what does it take for one to actually understand or start to personally brand themselves? Okay,
I'll tell you one thing that that I find very, very critical, especially now. I'll give you a very good example. Okay, I'm 37. I'm pretty old. Okay. And I'll tell you that there are a good number of people today who are 30 and they have a master's degree. They are 26, they have a degree. Some of them are even 24, 22, they have a degree. You understand? Some of them have very good jobs. Okay, they have very good jobs. They are very intelligent. They have new good ideas. And I must say that the world has become extremely competitive.
Yes.
Very competitive in every area, okay? Whatever career you actually are in, are you doing business, are you working in the bank, are you working wherever? The world has become extremely competitive. But what does one get to do to want to stand out and be noticed in what it is that they actually are doing? You need to nicely position yourself very well. How do you position yourself? You need to become very deliberate about this. You need to decide, I want to create a brand. What is the brand that I want to create? What do I want people to see when they look at me? What do I want people to envision, to imagine when they hear my name? What do I want people to associate me, to or with?
Yes.
This is something that is pretty critical, because I'll tell you what. Today, I am doing recruitment. I'm running a recruitment agency myself, and I will tell you that today we actually have people that have got degrees, and they'll come and they'll be telling you, give me anything. I want a job. I want anything. So you offer them a 1.5, they could take it. I don't offer that little money. But you offer them that little money, they would take it. You understand? But that is not good. You understand? Already that tells that one does not understand what it is they actually are worth. But let's not talk about worth if you've not taken the time to brand yourself, because it's like a product. It is how well the product is branded. It is how much noise you choose to make about the product. It is the impression that you choose to deliberately create before the people that makes people begin to respect it. I love to actually, ask people. I don't want to talk about brands because it may not, be so good. Yes. So there's this toothpaste that everybody knows, okay? Such that, they call every toothpaste that name.
Yes.
You know that one.
Yes.
Do you think that's the best?
No.
It may not be the best, but that's what people are buying. Why? Because that is what the owners have seriously worked on. They have worked on it so well, and they have made everybody believe that it is this or nothing. You understand? That is how competitive everything has become. I want to give you something that is very practical. We have a lot of people, okay? We have a lot of people that have done very well, and I think I have all the permission to mention them. Let me talk about maybe a lady, okay? Let's say Mizenga Melu.
Yes.
Okay, Mizenga Melu, the managing director, ABSA.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think she's the most intelligent woman?
She has shown us that.
No. Do you think she's the most intelligent
She
woman?
has shown
She
us
is
that.
very intelligent.
Yes, she is
but
very
we can't
intelligent.
prove she's the most.
No,
you understand?
No, we can't prove, yes.
What she has done is that she has decided to deliberately work on herself and want to stand out, such that if you are going to talk about somebody managing a serious bank in Zambia, if her name doesn't come up, then someone somewhere is not very well informed. You understand? That is the sort of branding that people actually need. That is the sort of branding that people actually need. Today, I talk to a lot of people that are doing very well in their careers, but they have never really taken the time to want to understand what it means to brand themselves. When you brand yourself, you stand up. You see, this is something that I love to tell people every now and then. Every time I actually have an opportunity to talk to people, especially young people. People buy a product they understand.
Yes.
I don't care how good it is. If I don't know it, I will not buy it.
Exactly.
You understand? It's that simple. When you are choosing to want to position yourself like the cameramen that are actually shooting us, if we don't know you, we will not come to you. You understand? So what are you doing about it? Look at the platforms that we have. We've got Instagram, we have got Facebook, we have got Twitter, we have got LinkedIn.
We have YouTube.
These are spaces that I must comfortably tell you that they've put me where I have come to be. I'm running a very successful business with my wife. We are running a consultancy firm with my wife. Not once have we ever placed an advert on TV, but we know where the people are. They are on LinkedIn, they are on Facebook, they are on Twitter. Every time you get an opportunity like this to come on TV, you're selling yourself.
Yes.
You understand? Most people are too reluctant. And all they are looking at is, I have this degree, so I deserve this. No, there's nothing like entitlement. What are you doing about it? You have to work for it.
Yeah.
Very important. That is why sometimes I love to, when I'm talking to people that are especially in management, sometimes I love to say, you see, when you talk about your achievements, I've got a degree, I have got a master's, I have got this, I am a doctor, I'm what? When you talk about your achievements, can you also make sure that when people look at you, they can see that, yes, this is the person that is actually talking about this. I'll give you a very good example of some time that I was spending time with my father, and I was with my other two brothers. And my father was trying to, introduce us to one of his friends, and he said, oh, this is Dr. So-and-so, okay? The first thing that came to my elder brother's mind was immediately that doctor went, he made a statement to say, well, his looks do not reflect his achievements. A bit of an insult, I must say.
Yeah.
What am I trying to say? When you have achieved something in life, can it also be seen, can it also be brought out in the sort of lifestyle that you actually get to live? What do people know about you? Have you been able to give out that information that you've actually acquired to a point where people are able to single you out and say, indeed, he is a doctor? You need to find a way of standing out in a very competitive world by making yourself visible to the right people. You need to choose to position yourself in such a way that you connect yourself to the right people that help you grow. Personal branding is an amazing thing that you can work on yourself and begin to stand out.
Okay, so I've got a question. How does that thought process work? Because if you have to now say, I'm going to brand myself in this type of way, it starts with your goals, right?
Yes.
And then it starts with what you envision. But in between there are processes that we need to follow. How does one go from where they are to where they want to be?
It's interesting. I'll tell you what, when I look at the both of you, to me, you're perfect. I don't need to, it's not up to me. I don't need to change anything about you. You're handsome, you're beautiful. That's it. You get my point? Mm-hmm. But within yourself, there's something that you want. There's something that you want. There's something that you're telling yourself, I can do better. Mm-hmm. There's something that you're telling yourself, if I could do this, then I would get here. Mm-hmm. There's a sort of lifestyle that you want to live because you have got goals yourself. Mm-hmm. You get my point? That is where issues of self-development begin to come up. Mm-hmm. That's where they actually begin to come up. Number one, you need to have a situation where you do serious introspection of yourself. You look at yourself and you're saying, what is it that, I would have wanted to do at this age? Yeah. Have I been able to do it? Mm-hmm. Am I living the life that I envisioned at my age? If you tell yourself you're not, you need to ask yourself, what have I done right and what have I done wrong that has made me not get to where I'm actually going? The moment you begin to make yourself feel uncomfortable with where you are, is the time that you tell yourself there are certain things I need to begin doing to improve myself. When I'm doing talks, especially to churches, I love to say, sometimes God will create a very uncomfortable position for you to start to understand that it is not your place. You need to move. You need to build capacity. You need to move to something that is better. Mm-hmm. That uncomfortable feeling that comes in us is what tells us, I can actually do better.
When in the valley.
That's the point. Yeah. So when you begin to feel like that, then you are telling yourself, what is the next step that I need to take? Mm-hmm. Firstly, you need to get to a place where you begin to associate yourself with people that are going to challenge you. You need to do that. You need to get to a place where you can begin to associate yourself with people that can begin to challenge you for growth. If you are in the media, there are people that have done very well in the media and they are a household name. Wouldn't you love to know them? You need to get to know them, because when you get to know them, you start to pick their mind. You start to see things that at some point felt, impossible, begin to look like they are possible. You understand? So when you begin to understand that association brings impartation, you will start to position yourself in such a way that you start to look at people that are going to challenge you to do better.
Okay, so what do you think are some of the common, I'll use the word common, what are some of the common challenges that people face in terms of progressing or moving towards their goal?
The biggest challenge that a lot of people actually face when it comes to moving towards their goals is, number one, I don't want to talk about finances. Mm-hmm. Let's say, for instance, you're maybe in business. I also don't want to talk about where you are coming from, because that's not an excuse. Mm-hmm. I will tell you that I will talk about what I just talked about. Mm-hmm. It is association. When I find you amongst 6 broke men, mm-hmm. and I know they are broke, chances are that I will take it you are also broke.
And usually is the case.
And usually that's the case.
Yeah, even if you have money,
you understand.
Broke at some point.
That's the point.
Yeah.
People need to appreciate the fact that iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm. So wait, are you saying that if I hang around with people who've got money, I also have money?
I'll tell you what.
The chances you might have money.
Chances are that if you do not have, you will soon begin to.
You soon know how to
you soon know how to actually get that money. So that is why I'm really trying to emphasize on the issue of association. I'll tell you that I have a good number of people that are way older than me that will ask me to say, okay, so how did you manage to, everybody mm-hmm. knows you. You go to this organization, you want something mm-hmm. done, you will get it done. Mm-hmm. You go to this, you want something, for yourself, mm-hmm. you follow it, you will get it. How do you do that? Mm-hmm. I have always taught myself I need to be surrounded by people that are doing better than me, because I'm not learning much from someone that is not. Yes. There are 2 things. If I am not inspiring you, mm-hmm. then you should be inspiring me. If none of these 2 are happening, then you have no place in my life. It's that simple. If I am not inspiring you, mm-hmm. then you should be inspiring me.
So someone has to be giving.
Yes. If I am not giving to you and I'm seeing you get fat because I'm feeding you,
yes,
that is good. If I am not, I'll give you a certain period of time and I'll tell you, you know what? I think this is not working. You are not teachable, mm-hmm. and I'll, and you have to be inspiring me.
Yeah,
there are no 2 ways about it. That is a good position to be, because then you start to tell yourself life can actually get better. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, in Bemba, there's a statement that says, Umwana shenda hatasha ninokunaya. when you are playing with people that have got mediocre minds, you will tell yourself, I am doing better. Why? Because you are competing with very wrong people. It doesn't necessarily have to be a competition,
no.
But I'm thinking you are making a comparison to yourself with people that are very wrong. You understand?
You have achieved that bar,
exactly.
So you are supposed to be looking further.
Yes. So, there was a time that, there was a time that we actually got our 2 sons and took them to this school, and it was impressive. Number one, the whole time. So grade 1, number one, grade 2, and I got consent. I said, it's good. It's building his self-esteem. But
it's not good enough.
I want to understand the sort of people that he's competing with. You understand? What we did is we removed them from that school and took them to a different school. Okay, pretty well known. I don't want to advertise them. Pretty well known. I took them there, and the first time that my son, that is in grade 7 now, wrote his tests, he passed number 11. And I told myself, this is his school. I told myself, this is the school he needs to be at.
This is where he's going
the
to
first time the younger one passed number 14, and I said, this is the right school. So he comes to the mother and he's telling her, me, Malumbo, passing number 14, me. And I told him, that's the right school. Those are the 14, the 13 people are the ones you need to begin to
That's
beat.
your competition.
And I will be very happy. What am I trying to say? Sometimes we get so comfortable because we are playing with very wrong people. You play with people who, when they get paid today, tomorrow they are broke, and you think that is the normal way of living. By the 15th, they are getting Kaloba. According to you, that's a normal way of living. You understand? Then there is this other class of people that will be telling you, you know what, I work, but I also have a grocery somewhere, and I'm doing my own thing this side, and I'm making my money. No debt, no what, they manage through the month. Because you're not exposed to them, you will not understand that you actually can do that.
Yes.
You are exposed to people that are living this hand-to-mouth sort of life. You are exposed to people that are so comfortable living in homes that they have to rent. You are so comfortable with the idea of playing with people that have to be called every now and then by their schools, their children's schools, to say, oh, the children have not paid school fees. That's okay with you, but it's not okay. You get my point? When you move from such a circle and you go to this circle that is challenging you and they are telling you life can actually get better, your thinking begins to change. Sometimes I love to tell my friends to say, you know what, if you call me at the middle of the month and you tell me you want a 500 kwacha, I don't have it for you, because I expect you to have a 500 kwacha at any given time. If you call me and you tell me, oh, my wife gave birth and I failed to pay 10,000 kwacha, I'll come through and help you, because that's a problem. 500 kwacha, that's a responsibility. You need to have it. Are you trying to get that's not arrogance. What I'm simply trying to tell you is that we need to get to a place where we start to attain a certain level of responsibility and independence.
Yes.
If we are going to continue entertaining things that are just wrong and tell ourselves we are okay, we will never grow.
And so we need to be honest.
We need to be honest with ourselves. We need to associate ourselves with people that are doing better, people that are doing big things, and we will tell ourselves this is the right way to actually do it.
And cut out entitlement.
Wow.
You need to cut out entitlement, because nobody owes you a life. You owe it to yourself. The good life you want to live will never be handed to you. You have to work hard for it.
Even that 500 that you expect someone to give you.
Just like that.
At least be able to have it at some point.
It's not yours.
You know,
Yeah, no, it's not
we
yours.
have to, and I think you are bringing up a very interesting issue on entitlement. Every day we see our youths. Now that we're going towards elections, there will be a lot of such cries. Okay, youth what, there's so much of that. I'll tell you something that I wish everybody could wake up every morning and think about. There is no president that will come in office and begin to distribute money to youths and tell them, here is your money, go and do, live your, here is your what. There's nothing like that. Governments can change 10 times. If your mind does not change, you still remain the same person that was frustrated with this one and gets frustrated with the next one. And there are no two ways about it. The moment us youths begin to think like that, the better. We think it's like we behave in such a way that, you know, when there's some seemingly wind, some wind of change, we think when things change to kababu sana. No.
The wind will carry you with it.
The wind will carry you with it. Because what is, you are not changing your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You are not changing your mind. We need to stop depending on people that are in politics to better our lives. We are happy that there is order. We are happy that there is somebody in office. We are happy that there are systems in place. But improving your life, improving the life of your family is dependent upon yourself. And these are things that we need to, you know, tell ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I get very emotional and extremely disturbed when I hear issues of, oh, youth empowerment and someone is giving money, or youth what and someone is giving a marketeer money. No, I don't need money to be empowered.
No.
I need the right skills to be empowered. I need the right mindset to be empowered. If I can have that, I can change myself. If you do not know, if you are not disciplined enough and you've not trained yourself, I can bring a 300,000 to you and tell you, go and start a business. After 5 months, you may not even have that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you that maybe this is something I should come and share at one of the shows.
Mm-hmm.
I love to tell people how I started my business. And I also love to talk about what we make today out of nothing. You understand?
Yes.
What you need is the mind, it's not the money. What you need is the right mindset and not the money to improve your life. You position yourself, you package yourself well, you connect yourself to the right people, you learn from them, you make deliberate steps to grow yourself, and you improve yourself. There are no two ways about it.
And this has to be gradual.
Exactly.
And it has to be consistent all the time. It's a process.
Yeah.
I think people, like before you came on the show, we were talking about how people get comfortable. You know, like you're saying, you have a degree or you have a job, you have a well-paying job, you're a manager, and you see, well, I'm a manager, I've been working for 10 years, and now I'm not progressing, I'm not moving.
Yeah.
And then at some point you get depressed because this junior of yours gets a higher position. You start wondering, okay, why am I not getting the position?
No, bulo chef your one and you forget that it is actually yourself that has not taken the time to want to improve yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's something that is that we need to be mindful of. Mm-hmm. You understand? We, you know, one of the things that I love to do with my wife is over the weekend when we have the time, we love to visit people's projects. You know, you hear a friend is doing something, you know, they're building a mansion somewhere, you know, you go there.
So you get inspired.
Yes, you get inspired. You know, some of these friends of ours, sometimes they will even tell you how much they are getting, and then you see what they are doing. So you are telling yourself, okay, so he's not getting a lot of money, but then here he is doing this really nice house, you know, he lives well, you know, so, but we are also making some money. Why are we unable to do this? You are learning something from there. We should never want to get comfortable. We should never want to actually get comfortable. And people are living their lives. That's what I can tell you.
True.
People are living their lives. Mm-hmm. While we have somebody that is telling themselves, how I wish I could, you know, one day just travel to the UK and, you know, just see how it actually looks. There is somebody that has got all the money to fly tomorrow, but what he doesn't have is the time.
That is very
You understand?
Very, very
While we
true.
have someone that is saying, how I wish I could have that car. I really love that car. There is somebody that is literally just giving it away because he's so tired of it. He wants to buy something else.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
People are living their lives out there. And instead of you just admiring and getting surprised, get close to people that are doing well.
No.
Get close to them.
Association.
When you get close to them, some of these things that we look at a distance begin to look very normal, and we start to tell ourselves, I need to work hard to get somewhere.
That's
Yeah. The mistake that most people have, I think, is association. They mistake it for relation. You know how when I know you're doing fine and I start getting comfortable with you, getting close, because in my head I'm telling myself at some point you'll be, you know, change. This.
Those are certainly. You want to say something? I can.
Yeah, I actually,
Yeah.
I did, but I guess let's finish with what he was saying. Yeah.
Those are wrong intentions. You understand? Those are pretty wrong intentions. It's very easy to tell when one has come for genuine help and someone has come to just, want something from you, it's very easy to actually tell.
It always is, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll give you a very good example of what I usually do. I've got my mentor. Okay, he's running this consultancy firm. I think he's running about 8 organizations. Yes, 8. I mean 8.
Wow.
Okay, running them well. Okay, he's my mentor. I don't have money like him, but you know what I do sometimes? What I'll do sometimes to simply pick his mind is I'll just ask him, I'll call him, where are you? No, I'm in the office. I'm just thinking of, going for lunch. And I said, lunch, good. So where can we meet so that I buy lunch? Me that does not have so much money like him. Where can we meet so that he will say, no, just choose your place. And I'll tell him, okay, fine, let's meet at Nando's. And I'll, spend a 200 kwacha and we'll have a meal.
But you would have learned so much more.
But what we are going to talk about in that 1 hour, 30 minutes that we're seated will have taught me so much. You understand? Will have taught me so much. People need to seriously begin embracing this issue of mentorship. There are so many people out there that are more than willing to mentor young people, but young people are not available. They are not willing to learn.
I also think there's also a lack of understanding when it comes to mentorship. We do not understand how important it is to actually have a mentor. We take it for granted that if I follow the steps that I've been told to follow, things should naturally fall into place. Yeah. However, I'm learning this now as I am growing older, that people who've gone before you, people who've seen things before you, who will actually guide you on how to do certain things. We need to be open to that. How does one actually pick out a mentor? There are so many people in the same field, but how do I align with a mentor that is actually going to be beneficial for me? One that is going to actually teach me or guide me towards my exact goal?
Okay, I'll tell you what. What I don't like is the term you use, that last, exact goal. I'll tell you that I'm a life coach, I'm a trainer, okay, and I'm selling these Salaola bells myself. You understand? That may not be what you want to become.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
You may want to become somebody else, okay? But there's nothing wrong with me being your mentor. I'll tell you why. Because you don't have to be exactly the way your mentor is.
Yes.
You might just be interested in one area of his life. Like just, you are inspired by how they started very small and you are at that place. And you are telling yourself, I need to get somewhere. I need to get to a place where I can, become somebody. If he did it, I know I can actually do it. So you're telling yourself, I need to understand how he got there. You get my point?
The principles he followed.
The principles that he actually followed. So it doesn't necessarily have to be you ending up exactly the way they are. You could be in a different field. But I will also tell you that it could be very helpful. What is important is beginning to understand simple life principles of working hard, okay? Not giving up. The same things that we're talking about of not networking, mixing with the right people, the idea of people falling and getting up, that is what you might want to actually pick from there. There's also nothing wrong with having more than one mentor. You understand?
Yes.
You could have a mentor that is teaching you value of, being a good wife, being a good support to your husband. You can have that mentor. And you can have one that is helping you understand how business is supposed to actually be done. There's nothing wrong. What is important is simply making yourself available and be straight with these people and simply tell them, you know what, for me, there's so much I want to learn from you. As and when you actually have the time, I want to spend time with you.
Okay.
That's very, very...
Yeah.
It's a lot of information.
So, yes.
It's a lot to take in,
Yeah,
but also
take
very wholesome.
Yes,
I like
yeah.
what we've spoken about. When you're talking about branding, something crept up in my
Please.
mind. A lot of times we brand ourselves on social media, on platforms that are very public.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm thinking sometimes you can actually brand yourself negatively. Is that possible? People say there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah.
But I tend to argue that. Could you share?
I'll tell you that there's I don't like I said, no names mentioned. I'm concerned about this person that really seems to be, according to the ladies, this is an inspiration to them. You get my point? An inspiration to them, because she'll be this place tomorrow, that place tomorrow, dress in this place today, drive this car. Something I love to tell people, and I'm pretty passionate about it. If they can't tell you how they are making it, they shouldn't be your inspiration. They should not be your inspiration. If they cannot tell you how they are making it, it's dangerous to follow them. It's very dangerous.
So that kind of branding
is not good. You see, yes, you can actually brand yourself very negatively because you undress on social media. Okay, because you insult on social media. So you will have a lot of fools follow you. You understand? You also need to look at the sort of people that are following you. What is the information that you're giving? What sort of people are interested in that information? Is it these people that are so focused and really want to become somebody in life, or it is just these that are so excited and just move with the wind? You need to ask yourself that. I will also tell you that I know people who have a very good following on Facebook, very good following on whatever, and yet they have not found a way of capitalizing on the people they've branded themselves before. You understand? Yeah. They haven't found them. What am I trying to say? I'll give you one thing I'll tell you one thing that really provoked me. At a time that I had grown my following on Facebook so much. I've got over 5,000 friends, it's full, and I've got 45,000 followers.
Wow.
And then I've got another group that has got over 290,000 people. Whoa. And another has 361,000 people. So this other time I'm in South Africa, in Durban, and this friend of mine is telling me, Ebano, that was in 2013, 2014. He told me, you have this following on Facebook and you are broke.
How?
He said just that. You have this following on Facebook and you are broke, Emmanuel. That hurt, but it was true. When I thought about it, I told myself, what he is saying may be very blunt, but what he is telling me is true. I have so many people that I'm just entertaining on social media. And yes, I don't have money. I don't have it.
I feel like we need to talk about that.
I know, right? What happened? What did you do?
I'm coming.
It feels like a whole story.
Because you see, you start to think, and it's telling you, look, find a way of making money from the people that know you on social media. When I came back, that really disturbed me. I could sit down, think about this, think about that. The first thing I told myself was, I need to get serious with charging for what I do. So I would do these master of ceremony works, I could get paid. I would do these facilitations where I could charge 5 pins. I started asking for 15. Some people didn't like it, but some of them came on board, and it's amazing how we actually did it. When in sometime about 2 years ago, I told my wife and I said, I've got the interest in this, can we try it out? She was a bit skeptical. I told her, we're going to try it. So we ordered these, Salaula bells from the UK. When they came, we advertised them on Facebook. It's amazing how the same people that are following us are our customers. And today, I'll tell you that on a daily basis, at least 15 go out.
Wow.
People we've never met, people we don't know. They will send money, we'll send them the products, and it's amazing. Then I am telling myself, I have a good reason to want to grow my following even more. Why? Because I have found a reason why I should actually do that. There is money everywhere. That's what I've come to learn. There is money everywhere. Sometimes I look into my wife's eyes and I'll tell her, Choolwe. I will tell her that.
Like
why? Because yes, I will tell her just that. I will tell her Choolwe. Why? Because I know how I think. There is money everywhere. There is so much money everywhere.
We need to talk some
We
more.
should talk some more.
It should be like the whole show, eh?
Yes.
Forget the show. We need to talk with him
Sit down,
outside
have
the
lunch.
show.
No problem.
Yes.
We should actually do that. Yes. Find time. Just call me. I will even come and buy that lunch. Let's sit down and chat.
Even better.
Anytime.
No, the first one we need to buy for you, so that you
No,
say.
let me buy the best
see
one.
my serious.
Yes, you just said.
Yes, you should come. Anytime. I'll be more than happy to come.
Okay.
Please.
Thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
by. I enjoyed this interview. It's been something that has been mind-opening.
Yeah.
A lot of things that we think about but do not really get into the details of, you have actually explained to us properly and given us a better understanding of it. I would love to have you on the show again, especially now on the business side of it.
Not a problem.
Yes,
Anytime.
that would be really good to actually.
Too much.
You seem to
Anytime.
have lots of information about your business and how it started. It would be interesting for
us
us
to
to
know
now actually see
how
the
it
other
started.
side.
I'll be more than happy to
Yes,
come through.
so-
I'll tell you that I respect these invitations for one reason. I will say that it's the media houses that have helped me a lot to get known, and that's why I will never be late for an appointment. I appreciate this because you would have chosen to pick anybody else that would have come running. I'm so grateful.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. No, thank you very much.
We're so happy
Actually,
to have
the
had
pleasure
you.
is ours.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
But before you go, just share with people out there to grow your following.
Okay.
Even further.
Even
To
further.
even further.
Even
Oh.
further. We have this. This is the beauty of it. So you can just look into the camera and tell people how
so,
they can get to you.
my name is Emmanuel Mukula. You can follow me on Facebook, okay, Emmanuel Mukula. And I've got another very interesting group. We talk about business, we talk about relationships, we talk motivation, we talk marriage. The group is called Deep Talk Africa. Deep Talk Africa. It's an amazing group to actually be on. There's so much to learn from there.
I should actually follow that group.
Yeah, you should follow it. It's
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Might pick one or
Deep
two
Talk
things.
Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna break?
Yeah, we're going to go straight into a break. After the break, we get into current affairs, and then we will have our next guest with us.
Yeah.
Still talking, leveling up, improving ourselves. You had talked a lot about how you and your wife do things together, business, seeing how growth should happen. That I wish we could have also touched on. It's just that we've run out of time.
Yeah.
Because it's important to understand how our relationships also build us.
Yeah.
There'll be time we'll talk about it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr.
I'm so grateful. I'm
Thank you
really
very much
grateful.
for coming
Thank
on
you
the
so
show.
much.
You're welcome. No problem.
Okay, so catch us after the break. We'll be right back with you. There's still Life in the Morning. You're still with Elvis and Choolwe on Live TV. Life in the Morning,
Yes.
channel 112 on your top
Don't
study
just
program.
you got it right. You got it right.
And we're still streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right now we're getting into current affairs, and the first story that we have is on Zambia defaults on debt payment. Zambia has failed to meet its 42.5 million interest payment to bondholders that was due midnight Friday the 13th of November 2020. This comes after bondholders rejected Zambia's first request for a six-month interest payment deferment to April 21st. Minister of Finance, Walyangandu, met with the Eurobond Holders Committee to discuss on whether the debt payment could be deferred to a later date, but the request was turned down. Mr. Ngandu disclosed that the government is committed to pursuing a constructive and transparent dialogue with all its creditors. Currently, the Eurobond, or rather, I shouldn't say currently, but the Eurobond holders account is sitting at about $3 billion.
Is that how much we're owing?
Just
in total?
Just the Eurobond.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. In total, we're owing over $3 billion.
That's the principal payment. Yeah.
Okay, so what